Okay. Okay, we are live. Here to talk about the James Bond movies. Posted up a few polls last couple of days, and I thought it'd be interesting to talk about them, talk about the results, have a little chat with all of you. Just talk a little bit about the Blue Diamond Bond films and kind of where we've been and where we're going with like This Is Forever and stuff. This is kind of been a good way to kind of gather up, okay, what's worked for us, what hasn't worked for us, and really get a gauge on the on the films. So that's good thing here. Let me pull up real quick. I'm gonna pull up the polls so we can discuss them. As you may have noticed, I posted up a video recently showing I'm going to be doing kind of a ranking thing, seeing how all my films rank, and I posted up the Bond films already. After that, I think the next one I'll do all the Lost Scene movies, and then I'll probably do the Survivor series, and then maybe Martial Law after that. We'll go from there. So let me just go back here. That was about a week ago. That was a week ago. I posted this. That was for a couple of days ago. Yeah, I posted those up a couple of days ago. Okay. Though that one I posted a week ago. That will be the first one we'll discuss. Okay. Let's. Oh, hey, Mr. Bond. Okay. Hey, what's up? S. Fisher in 1993. Well, happy 7th anniversary to Reflection of the Soul. That's pretty cool. I can't believe it's been 7 years. Yeah, 007 anniversary. Thought that was kind of cool. I didn't actually plan that out. That ended up just happening to be the day that I decided to do this little live stream thing here. I was like, wait, that's on the anniversary. Perfect time to talk about the Bond films. Price of Loyalty is 12. Shadow Revenge is 10. And Reflection of the Soul is 7 now. First, I thought it'd be interesting to talk about the poll. The one thing that I was not expecting, I posted up the poll about Price of Loyalty, Original Edition, and Special Edition. Neck and neck. Like, literally, like, last I just looked at 19 votes, 53% on the Special Edition, 47% on the Original Edition. 1 vote difference. Pretty crazy. DEP Films, good evening. Yeah, good evening, Paulie. But seriously, 1 vote. It's like, I was not expecting that. Honestly, I was expecting a Special Edition to just knock it out of the park, because I thought I made a lot of good improvements. I see why the original would get some votes, because yes, there is a nostalgic factor of this was what everyone saw originally back in 2008. But I really thought the Special Edition, I mean, if you had to ask me, well, yes, there's nostalgia, but honestly, I really have to go with the Special Edition. I think it just improves the film. I fixed a few of my mistakes. Honestly, if I could do my remastered version that I want to do, that would even be even better than the Special Edition even. But now I'm not even sure if it would be worth it, because I've seen a lot of people really do still like the original. So I might just kind of just leave those films alone. There's no point in going back and trying to fix them up. Which I kind of get. But really surprised that poll was so close. I was expecting one of the answers to really just take off. But no, Special Edition barely leads by 1 vote. So it really is more of really just what you prefer to watch. I mean, honestly, I think the last time I watched that movie, I think I did watch the original. I don't think I was watching the special edition. The original is the one I've actually got on DVD, on the DVD set. So, uh, yeah. Yeah. I put it on a nice little DVD here, and it's the original edition. So, as you can see, it's got this inside here. Probably made a new cover for it. Thought it worked better. Remaster in the sense of going back to the original text and re-edit, that would be impressive, but I have to agree that the original's got a special charm to it. Yes, that is exactly what I mean. I would go back to the original tapes and I would re-edit it and just if I made the remaster, just so everyone knows what it would be. It would literally be going back to the tapes, re-editing the whole thing, fixing, dubbing, doing better dubbing, at least for some of us. Some of us I probably couldn't get a hold of. I think I probably would still use maybe some of the special edition edits still. But new visual effects, new sound effects, dubbing, new title sequence, maybe even a original score, so that way it could be on YouTube. That way it wouldn't have to be stuck on Vimeo or something. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that kind of means it loses that charm of the original. It doesn't feel like the price of loyalty anymore. I mean, it's still the same film, same story, and I wouldn't be like, I would not be filming anything new. Only stuff that would be there would be the original stuff and the special edition footage. I don't think I would add anything outside of that. I think that would be taking away too much. And if I did refilm something, if I needed some shots to refilm, I would go to my parents' house and grab those old cameras and I would film it on the old tapes. I would still at least keep it in that quality. So at least it matches. But I might go in and do some cropping, try to get rid of that whole graphic that was on the price of loyalty stuff, get rid of that and just fix it. Maybe someday in the future, but it would take a lot of work to get all that stuff, to get all that footage again. But yeah, so I'm not sure on that. So yeah, that would be the special edition. The problem with the Shadow of Revenge ones is there was some footage that was filmed on Sean's camera that I literally would have to hopefully recover it from my old hard drive that broke that had that footage. So that would be a lot harder to be able to remaster because there's some shots that aren't on my camera. They weren't on the tapes. They were on actual digital. There were a couple of shots, a couple of things here and there. I would either have to just leave those shots as is from the actual original film, which I could do, and just leave them as they are, or have to try to get there's just a lot of logistics I would have to do to try to remaster it. Wouldn't be bad, and like I said, it would be kind of nice especially if I could get together with maybe like Auto or something and try to work on maybe putting an original score to them. That way, they could at least be on YouTube. I have considered that idea, but honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave it as is for right now. If something happens further where I lose them again, like for some reason Vimeo or Google Drive, I can't show them anymore, I might do it just so those films can be on YouTube or be online because all my films are online. I haven't lost any of them. There are actually a number of YouTubers who can't say that anymore, which is unfortunate. A lot of people lose films, especially with the progression of YouTube since the good old days of the late 2000s. Lots changed. Wow, only 4 people on. I really thought we'd get a few more, especially considering this wasn't so spur of the moment. I announced this live stream days ago. So hope I'll get a little more of a discussion going. But oh well, we'll press on. Maybe more people will join. Um, okay, let's look at some of our questions that I posted up. Okay, so the first one I did was the James Bond, with the James Bond films. I asked the question, yeah, which performance of mine as Bond was, which film had it? And with 18 votes, it was Reflection of the Soul with 56% and Shadow of Revenge with 44%. Price Loyalty was 0. One thing I've noticed is Price Loyalty gets a lot of just nothing in these polls. I mean, it's only natural. I mean, it's a weaker film. Not surprised. You're having a blast in all three, but I like your more menacing Fleming style approach in Reflection of the Soul. Yeah, yeah. If I was to vote, I would vote Reflection of the Soul. I do like my performance in Shadow of Revenge. I don't really care for my performance in Price of Loyalty. I mean, yes, I had fun. Yes, it was my first film, which I think is kind of fitting considering I was being Lazenby. So I was basically in Lazenby's shoes. No acting experience really at all. So it kind of gives that film a little bit of a charm to it. But honestly, I look back on just like, I wish I could just do that a little different. The whole film could use a little different approach to it. But Shadow of Revenge has some good moments. But the problem is, I think, is like the Price of Loyalty, I'm trying too much to emulate a Bond actor. Reflection of Soul really was me finally being my own Bond, not being one of the other actors. So I think that's why I give it that edge over Reflection. Over Shadow of Revenge. But it's cool to see that people still really do like that performance in Shadow of Revenge. It was a fun film to make. I think there are a lot of little moments, like we were discussing when we did the 10th anniversary live stream. I was noticing a lot of things watching that film. There's a lot of little moments that are really cool that I think, because I was trying to make Reflection of the Soul easier on us and avoiding a lot of issues we had with the Shadow of Revenge, I think we lost some stuff in terms of just, we made it very paint by numbers. It does have a little bit of blandness to it, and I think that's one of the reasons why Reflection of the Soul does have a lot of competition with Shadow of Revenge. It does not easily just, oh yeah, it's a favorite Bond movie, because I think there is a little bit of blandness that Shadow of Revenge had something. It was a nightmare to make in a lot of ways, and Reflection of the Soul wasn't as much of a nightmare, but I think Shadow of Revenge definitely has an edge that Reflection of the Soul doesn't have. But I still think Reflection of the Soul is the better film. But I can see where people are coming from. And that's become the big debate, is Shadow of Revenge versus Reflection of the Soul. But yeah, cool to see the votes on that one. Okay, who was the best M? With 17 votes, Patrick Stark gets 76%, and Sean Mooney gets 24%. Sean Mooney did it twice. It was great that we actually were having kind of the MI6 regulars, but then after really 4 years of filming, because while Shadow of Revenge was released in 2010, its filming was from November 2008 to October 2009. So it'd been it'd been 4 years in between the films. So getting back the MI6 regulars didn't really work. In fact, the only person I got back was Darnell as Robinson. So he's the only one besides myself to make the transfer from the Shadow of Revenge over to the Reflection of the Soul. Everyone else changed out. So Sean Mooney, I think, does a good job with what he's got. Definitely plays more of a classic M. It was great having two performances from him and kept the good little continuity thing going. And then Reflection of the Soul, Patrick Stark definitely was going with more of a Mallory Skyfall approach. I mean, Spectre hadn't even come out yet, so He was just going off of what he'd seen in Skyfall. I think that's really the approach Patrick takes with it, and it was. I loved it. I thought he was great. It's a shame he's moved away. We can't get him to be M for Death is Forever. It really is, because it would have been nice to keep at least some MI6 regulars instead of keep switching them out. But of course, this time there's a well, by the time we start filming, it's going to be closer to a 8-year gap between Reflection of the Soul and Death is Forever. So, getting a lot of the people back is a little trickier. We might be getting some, though, back. We'll discuss that as we go along. But, yeah, I think I would go with Patrick Stark as the best M, and it looks like most people agree. There's a few Sean Mooney fans out there, which is nice. Nice to see. But definitely fun, good M's. I don't think we had either one was bad. Best Q. This was a bit of a tighter battle. We had 17 votes. We actually had 12% of that was for Sean, which I thought was interesting. Because it was a very different approach. He wasn't even our original choice. I mean, originally it was Scott Alexander. We filmed with him. We did one day. It was the second day of shooting. We lost that footage. We had to film it again, and this time Scott was not willing to do Q. So Sean came on board, and then we filmed that. And I think that was his first shot. No, he was the guard first, and then we did the Q scenes. So that was right at the beginning, though, of Sean working with us. That was in November of 2007. And yeah, I mean, it did lead into creating the character of Daniel Banks. So that was kind of cool. But I would definitely put him at the bottom. No offense against him. It's just a different style of Q, which I don't think quite works. And anyways, if I retconned it, he's not actually Q. Q's on leave. Richard Smith's Q is on leave, and Daniel Banks is filling in because he's his assistant. And then he comes back. See, if I redid that, actually, I would probably actually dub that in if I did the remaster version, explaining that. I would do a dub to make it explain that. And then we've got James Oxford with 41%, and then Richard Smith with 47%. So close battle between Richard and James. Really like what Richard did. He really went for the Desmond Llewellyn approach. And I really appreciated him doing the whole gray hair stuff. That was fun. I'm just gonna do this real quick. Yeah, that was fun. And James Oxford, I think, does a really good job too. And I've been a little bit in talks with getting back in contact with James, and who knows? We might be able to get him back as Q. So we might get at least one of our MI6 regulars back from Reflection of the Soul into Death is Forever. I might get him back as Q. That would be nice. I think he does a solid job. I'm not sure which one I would say is better. Probably Richard overall, just because I like that classic style. But James does a really good job too. So I think that's more of just whichever one really floats your boat. It's definitely between the two of them for best Q. I also just love that scene when Q in the Shadow Revenge gives Bond his equipment, because there's just that really cool. I just love that track from Diamonds Are Forever. Q's trick. It works great in that scene. It's a fun scene. I really enjoyed filming it. We were late that night. It was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night when we filmed that. We were tired. It's been a long day. And then we filmed those shots, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Let's see. Next one. Best Miss Moneypenny. 17 votes. Chelsea Riley with 65%. Amanda Ellison with 35%. Okay, so not as far apart as Patrick Stark or Sean Mooney. Honestly, I mean, I think they both do a fine job. It was nice, once again, having Amanda Ellison in both films that she came back to do Moneypenny again. I thought that was great. Chelsea does a great job. I actually lost contact with Amanda, actually, after The Shadow Revenge. After we finished filming, I don't even know where she is right now or whatever happened to her. I think I lost contact around the time before even the premiere of the movie, The Shadow Revenge. So I haven't heard from her in forever. So there was no way I was getting her back for Reflection of the Soul. I think I did ask Sean Mooney about BM. I think I did. And he turned it down. He was like, no thanks, I'm busy. So he didn't come back. But I couldn't even get a hold of Amanda. She does a good job. I mean, once again, first film. I don't know. I don't know which one I would say I had better chemistry with as the whole Bomb Moneypenny dynamic. I mean, I think Amanda Ellison's Moneypenny has a lot more to do, especially in Shadow Revenge. She has more scenes. I mean, in Price of Loyalty, she's like one scene. Well, she was literally there for a day and she was done. In Shadow Revenge, she had like 2 or 3 days of filming. I think it was 2. I think she had 2 days of filming. And then Chelsea was 1 day done. And yeah, so I mean, people really like Chelsea, which is cool. Honestly, I don't know if I could really pick. I think maybe I might go with Chelsea. But I think they both do a pretty solid job. This was actually the one that surprised me because at the beginning, it was flipped on which one was winning. 17 votes. Best Bill Tanner, Jason Shackelford or Matthew Wood. Matthew Wood has 76%. Jason Shackelford has 24%. But at the very beginning of the votes, Jason Shackelford was leading. I can see why, though. Jason Shackelford looks more like Bill Tanner from like the newer. He looks more like Kinnear. So I can see why people would be like, yeah, he's the better one. But honestly, it's not. It really, I don't feel like it was a fair vote because like Jason Shackelford's Bill Tanner literally does like is one seed, has like one line, gets knocked out, and that's it. It's over. He's barely there. I literally just threw him in there at the last second. I mean, we were filming at his office. That's Jason Shackelford's. That was his office, at least at the time. To be M's office. And I was just like, hey, you want a small little bit here? Because originally I think he was supposed to be just a security guard, but I was like, hey, why don't we just have him be Bill Tanner? And we just went with that. Yeah, Matthew is great. The plan is for him to come back in Death is Forever, which would be great. Matthew Wood does a solid job. I really like working with him. I think he did a good job. Even though, he didn't actually interact with us, he had to be over the headset because he lives in England and I live here in the United States. So, as Fisher in 1993, I voted Matthew, solid job. Awesome. Matthew is very likable as Bill Tanner. Yeah, he is. I mean, like I said, Jason Shackelford, it's not really fair because it's such a small bit. It's like comparing, I think I forgot the name of the guy who was Bill Tanner in Man with the Golden Gun compared to Kinnear. It's like this guy barely was in the movie. You almost don't even recognize him as Bill Tanner. And the chief of staff, and then you got one who's been in doing lots of things with Bond. So it's like it's not really a fair vote, but it was interesting seeing some people actually voted. As Fisher 93, I actually forgot Tanner was in Golden Gun. Yeah, he is actually technically. It's in the scene when they're all meeting on the ship. The chief of staff there as Bill Tanner, and it's like, I mean, most people think his first appearance was Free Eyes Only. But actually, he did briefly. But he's so brief. It's kind of like I said with Jason Shackelford. It's very brief. His son's actually the security guard that walks past when you see that Bill Tanner's body's been moved. That was actually his son, Luke. Luke Shackelford did that. So it was fun. But honestly, that was almost not fair. But I was like, there's two of them. I couldn't do Robinson, of course, because there's only one Robinson. There was Darnell. It was great that we had him in twice. Okay, this next poll is the one I really want to talk about because I did not see this coming. Not in a million years did I see this one coming. Who is the best villain? At the bottom we have, and I decided to go with main villain. There was a lot of back and forth of who counts as a main villain and who counts as a henchman. But in the end, I decided to settle on 4 people that I considered main villains. So, with 11%, there's 18 votes. With 11%, Jack Miller, Chris Mooney. 2 films. Kind of rare moment for a Bond villain. But he actually was in 2 films. But he's got 11%. Daniel Banks, Sean, 17%. Walter Sinclair, Imdb Ranking, 22%. And at 50%, Antonio Lopez, Gordon Phillips. Did not see that coming. I don't mind it. It's not like I have an issue. I just never knew people really liked Gordon as Antonio Lopez. I didn't really like people really like the character of Antonio Lopez. I figured it was either going to be between Banks and Sinclair. Honestly, I thought Sinclair was going to win. I thought Imdb Ranking as Walter Sinclair was going to win. I thought, he's a classic Bond villain style. It's a classic style Bond villain right there, Walter Sinclair. Daniel Banks, I think Sean just puts on a great performance. I could even see Miller getting a few more votes because, Chris Mooney just does that over the top, just egomaniac character so well. I thought Lopez was going to be at the bottom. Honestly, my ranking was, I thought Banks at the top, neck and neck with Sinclair, and then Miller right behind them, and then Lopez at the bottom. But Lopez won by far. 50%. The closest was 22. That's like, wow. It's great to see some love for that character, especially as I mentioned my live stream of Shadow Revenge. Last year, Gordon Phillips passed away. So it's been the first time ever someone in our films that's worked on our films with us has passed away. It's a real shame. In fact, I'm planning on, when Death is Forever comes out, to dedicate the film to him. Because he really he came in at the last minute to play that character too. I think we had not started filming yet when we cast him. He was there at the filming, at the meeting we had, script read. He was there. He was one of the people that was at the script read. But guys, any thoughts about this one? I would love to hear you guys see some comments on this one. Rest in peace, Gordon Phillips. He will be remembered. Yes. But Lopez, why Lopez? What were your thoughts on all the villains? Why vote the way you did? Or do you think a different villain? Or did you vote for a different one? Because honestly, if I was voting, Sinclair. I personally went with Sinclair. Imdb Ranking as Sinclair. Sinclair is a classic villain, like I said earlier. I think that's personally the best one. But like I saw, you guys had different thoughts on that one. Daniel Banks, though, great performance by Sean. Yeah, honestly, I'd rank them Sinclair, Banks, Miller, Lopez. No, like I said, once again, no offense to any of them. I like them all, but honestly, I just think it's not just acting. I think it's also writing and performance. It's a lot of mix. I was just surprised. No comments, so I guess I'll move on to the next vote. This was the one that really threw me off. I think I'm going to skip up because I did originally enter this one in, but I accidentally made an error, so I had to repost it. Best Henchman. This was tougher. Henchman was kind of a tough, what to count as a henchman. Peter Grant, I still say, is actually the henchman. It's not his plan. He's not the one who planned this whole thing out. He's not the one who's running the whole thing. We do have a comment here on the previous one. The EP films. Lopez is a fantastic character, very calculated, intriguing. There's a looming presence to him. Sure, yeah, I could definitely see that, and he does have that great. I think his best scene is the boardroom scene, honestly, where he's talking with Hart, Dent, Walker, and Parker. That scene, he nails that scene, and I like that scene. It's a great establishing a villain scene. It's the classic type scene, where you got the one guy who says, "I don't want to be part of this anymore," and he's like, "Okay, you can leave," and then he kills him. I mean, that's classic Bond right there. He's actually the first one to die. I just realized, yeah, of the 4 villains of Shadow of Revenge, he's the first one that gets killed. Had fun doing a little fight scene with him. But yeah, no, I totally agree with that. But okay, so with the henchman, no, wait a minute, Ethan Foster would otherwise have been my vote. I love he's got that history with Bond. Honestly, I saw him as the equal villain to Sinclair. Yes, I did originally think about putting Foster on the villain list. However, as I was explaining, same with Peter Grant. This is what's Peter Grant. It's not his plan. It's not his idea. So I feel like Peter Grant then must be the henchman. Miller is the one planning this out. He's the orchestrator of this whole thing. In the Shadow of Revenge, Miller is working with Lopez. He's part of the plan making. Same with Banks. However, Derice is definitely Lopez's henchman. So there is a definite henchman. He's the classic henchman. And he's great. Oval was great. He had such a great presence. Big guy. Ethan Foster, reason why I decided to put him down as a henchman is it, once again, not his plan. He's just working with Sinclair to help Sinclair achieve his goals. So I feel like that's why Ethan Foster does fit actually as the henchman. It's kind of tricky. It kind of has that Living Daylights feel where you got Koskov and you got Whitaker, or Octopussy where you have Kamal Khan and Orloff from Orloff, Stephen Burkoff. You're not unfamiliar with Penn. Oh wait, wrong movie. That's Rambo. But I think you really have to go with whose plan is it, or whose plan is it, if it is multiple people's plan. And I really think, haha, Rambo reference. Yes, I'm glad you liked that. He's the one for him. Yeah, he was cold. He was. And as we can see in the votes, Derice got 6%. Peter Grant, Richard Smith, he got 22%, and Ethan Foster got 72% of the votes. I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, Foster's great. It was really a fun villain to put together. It was kind of giving him kind of another chance to kind of do the Daniel Banks thing. That's my only problem with Foster, is I feel like I kind of redid Daniel Banks a little bit. That's my only issue with Foster, is it was a little similar to Daniel Banks. Richard, I think, does a fine job as Peter Grant for the first movie. I thought it was fine. But I definitely think that's my reasoning for putting them all as the henchmen, and it was pretty obvious that Foster was going to win. I mean, we could count him as the main. We could count main villain, maybe Foster. That was just tough. I was like, I guess I'm gonna say each film had a henchman, so Foster is that, since he's just helping Sinclair. It's not his plan, so that was my reasoning for that one. But not surprised at all that Foster won that one. I would have thought Derice would have gotten a few more votes, to be honest, though. This is the classic Odd Job, Jaws, Hinks, I'm, I'm blanking on all the henchmen now. Stamper, all those different guys. I think Peter Grant is he pulls a Renard. Peter Grant pulls a Renard because Peter Grant starts out, you think he's the main villain, but then you find out he's the henchman. So Peter Grant does the whole Renard thing. Therese is the classic villain, and then Foster is kind of almost the Living Daylights, From Russia with Love, Octopussy, where there's multiple villain kind of things. I think those are the three types that those guys have. So, once again, everyone who's watching, thanks for voting. I appreciate this. It gives me a good idea of what worked well and what didn't. Okay, best Bun Girl. Crystal Tyler, Lisa Limbach, 0%. Not surprised. I thank her for helping us out. She was Chris's friend. I never met her before for that day. Never saw her again after that day. That one day, she popped in, disappeared. Never ever heard from her again or anything. Just gone. Appreciate the help because we almost were trying to figure out a way to rewrite the film with writing that whole thing out. It's not a very well written character. It's not a very well written thing. If I went back, I would totally want to rewrite that whole character and that whole thing over again and do something totally different with it. So no surprise that gets 0%. No surprise. I hope she's doing well wherever she is, but I've never heard from her again. She literally disappeared. But I do thank her for actually helping because at least we got the film finished. Miranda Bennett, Kayla Denton, 44%, and then Terry Bliss, Katie Hoy, 56%. So very much a neck and neck competition. As Fisher 1993, I voted on Miranda for that one. Depends on what you want. Second will be Zori. I mean Terry Bliss. Zori Bliss. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Jake. Don't do that. It really depends on what you like. I mean, Miranda's the tough girl, Bond girl thing. She's got the whole fellow agent Bond girl, whereas Terry has got the civilian kind of caught up in everything. So Miranda's very much like Pam or Anya or Jinx, that sort of character, or Wylin. Whereas Terry is much more like Kara or Domino. You know, she's the just civilian caught up in everything. Terry's the every girl like Kara. Yes, exactly. So it really depends on what kind of Bond girl you like in your film, what we prefer. And I really think it comes down to that. Honestly, I can't choose which one because I think they both did a great job. And I was very grateful to them for what they were able to do and what they brought to the table. I thought they both did a good job with the kind of character they were being. Tough Bond girls are fun because they give him an equal, yes. And we will be leaning towards that with Death is Forever. That's the kind of Bond girl we're going to have again. We're going to have the tough girl one again rather than actually, and there will be, I will say, there will be a reference, a name drop of Miranda Bennett. She will get name dropped in the film, which will be fun. I plan on doing a little bit of that with Death Forever. There will be some name drops and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. No surprise though on that vote. I expected it to be a very equal battle between those two. And let's see here. Next one. Okay, this one I actually made an error. Best Bond ally. I left out an ally. I realized I left one out. I left out General Ivanov, and I feel bad about that. I left out Michael Lindsay as General Ivanov. I don't know if he would have gotten any votes, or if he would have been in the running for best ally, but I forgot Ivanov. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, Michael Lindsay is John Ivanov is an ally of Bond. So Bond had two allies in that movie. He had Felix Leiter and Ivanov, and we are in. I am maybe. I am trying. I will try to get Michael Lindsay back as Ivanov in Death Is Forever. Actually, that would be fun. Like here we are, 11 years later. Bringing him back because he has expressed interest in maybe doing that character again. So I would love to bring that character back, but I missed him on this poll, which was unfortunate. Mark Tyler, Brian Mooney, 0%. Price of Loyalty does not get much love, like I said. Now, this one was back and forth for a while. It finally changed with 19 votes. Felix Leiter, David Laughlin, 47%. Jack Wade, Richard Smith, 53%. 1 vote difference. Very neck and neck. I think it really comes down to, do you like Wade or not? Or do you like having Felix Leiter there? I think it really does come down to that, because I think both of them play their characters the way they're supposed to. I think it really does come down to the character. We got a comment here. DEP Films. Ivanov returns. Yes, that's fantastic. Yeah, I hope. I really want it to be the same actor. If push comes to shove, I might just have to recast, but I do want that character back. I think that'd be fun. I do want there to be references and stuff like that to the past films, not in the Spectre way of where it's all connected and it's all there, but more just, hey, yeah, this is a kind of a thing, kind of like in some of the Bond books where there would be references to previous adventures. I want there to be kind of that going on, and some characters returning here and there. But I think Wade, honestly, if I had my vote, I think I would vote on Richard as Wade. It's fun. He's just pure fun. And I think he did it very well. And I honestly think that's his best performance, was as Wade. He loves that character, so it was fun to have him do that. I really enjoyed it. But I can see why some people just like having Felix Leiter there. So best ally. That was not too surprising to me. I figured it was going to be a pretty close battle between those two. I thought Mike Tyler might get 1 vote. He didn't. Okay. Okay, this was an interesting one. Let's see here. 21 votes. Best Q gadget. In the bottom, we have the stun gas gun pack at 5%. Then we have the flashbang pen at 10%, both from the Shower Revenge. Then we have the taser watch from the Price of Loyalty at 14%. The exploding Rubik's Cube from the Shower Revenge at 29%. And the disguised computer hacking equipment from Reflection of the Soul at 43%. I was very curious about this one. Tony Down Under, good morning from Australia. How are we? We are doing quite well. We're having a great little discussion here on just all the different stuff. Whenever this thing, when it's done live and it goes back on, yeah, definitely go back and rewatch some of it. We've been discussing a little bit of the different poll results. Doing great here. Awesome. I hope you're doing great in Australia. I've been keeping up with some stuff in Australia. I'm a big Australian rules football fan, so I've been keeping up with they're in the finals right now. I've been watching a little bit of that, and my favorite team, Geelong Cats, are in it still. They destroyed Collingwood. It was great, and I hope they can beat Brisbane. I don't know if you watched down there. I was just like, well, he's in Australia. Maybe he watches this sport. I know not everyone down there watches it, but I was like, yeah. So I hope you're doing well, though, Tony. As Fisher 1993, I voted the Rubik's. Yeah, honestly, I go with the computer hacking equipment is my favorite. I think it's the most realistic. I think it's the better one. The Rubik's Cube, it is what it is. I mean, we were working with what we had available to us. Honestly, I think my favorite gadget in the Shadow Revenge might be the flashbang pen. I know it's the pen grenade thing again, but I thought it was fun doing the whole flashbang. The stun gas was silly as could be. It was almost Roger Moore. Um, the taser watch, once again, simple. We need something simple. Very early film. Just need something. But it was interesting seeing how the votes kind of spread it out on that one. It wasn't quite like one just took off. I mean, yeah, this guy's hacking equipment was definitely leading, but it was nice seeing everything get a vote. Nothing got zero. Everyone enjoyed all the different gadgets. I thought we came up with a lot of good gadgets. And I thought it'd be an interesting vote, and it was interesting poll to seeing. Not 100% certain all the gadgets that will appear in Death is Forever, but I've got a few ideas. But now it's nice knowing what you guys lean more towards when it comes to gadgets with Bond. So I hope to create some more cool ones for the next film. But nice seeing the nice spread on that. That was pretty good. Let's see. We are coming down to the end here. With 20 votes, which film had the best title sequence? Price of Loyalty, 0%. I'm not surprised. I mean, we literally slapped that one together. Originally, Price of Loyalty's title sequence, more of a Port Adelaide, and yeah, I think the Rubik's Cube was weird, cheesy, and just unique. Yeah, I mean it is. Port Adelaide. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Maybe we'll get a rematch in the final, grand final. I hope so. Power versus the Cats. I mean, you beat us last round, but maybe we'll get a rematch. Good luck against the Tigers. Yeah, Richmond. Good luck. All right. Sorry, everyone else. I just rarely ever get to talk about this with someone. It's cool. Yeah, the Rubik's. It's weird. It really shows the limitations of what we had at the time, especially in 2010. We were able to come up with more stuff later on. So I think that was kind of what happened there. I think the hacking software worked good. I liked being able to use the backgrounds for the iPad and stuff, like having the Universal Exports logo on there, and then having the outside the MI6 when it was in Q's lab. I thought that was kind of a nice touch on that. So I did that. But best tile sequence, okay, Price of Loyalty, as I was saying, Price of Loyalty. Price of Loyalty's originally was going to be more like Never Say Never Again. It was just going to show Bond running, chasing Miller, and just have the titles. We never got the chance to film the sequence, so I came up with the idea, why don't I just take footage from GoldenEye 007 for the N64 and just run with that. So we did that, and man, with that, it's not a great sequence, but it worked. It worked. And then Shadow Revenge has 25%. And then Reflection of the Soul has 75%. I think Shadow Revenge is really good. I love the song. I love that we got permission to use the song. And I think it was great. Noah Max, though, really does knock it out with Reflection of the Soul's title sequence. It really works well. I sometimes wonder if I should have chosen a different song because that song has been used in other fan films. I want something a little more unique. We are getting a completely unique song. Otto's written it. We've done some tests with the singer and stuff, but Death is Forever is going to have its own unique song written for Death is Forever to go along with the score. So I'm looking forward to seeing what title sequence we come up with to go with the song. It's going to be great. I think it will definitely be the best one that we've done. But it didn't surprise me. I figured Reflection of Soul would win that. I figured Shadow Revenge would have a few votes. So it kind of turned out the way I thought it would. I think that's pretty much it. We do have 23 votes on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being super excited, 1 being not excited. How excited are you for Death of Forever? 78% people said 5, 17% of people said 4, and then 1 person said 3. So someone's not really wanting to watch my Bond stuff. So, but most people are excited. I'm excited. So that's pretty good. I'm really glad you guys liked my photo that showed all the gun barrel sequences right next to each other because it really does show just how much things have changed. I never realized how much I had a very similar stance from Shadow Revenge, Reflection of Soul, and Death to Forever. I do have, I guess that's just my stance for using the gun barrel. Very similar. The first two films, it's the P99 I'm holding, and then the other two films, it's the PPK. Actually, the first three are actually all filmed in the same area. The one, The Price of Loyalty, the parking lot. I filmed it in the parking lot. Shadow Revenge, it's inside the building that parking lot belonged to. And then the third one was on the other side of that parking lot against the building, and it was cropped out. It was edited, the whole building and everything was edited out. But those first three were all actually in the same area within less than 200 yards of each other. Actually, to film the gun barrel, it was always in the same area. The one for Death of Forever, though, was filmed on campus in the green screen room. I've shown some footage of that. I filmed quite a few different versions, but the one that was chosen was, I thought, the best version. So that gun barrel is going to be great. Dan Roland, as long as that it's not that. $20, I'm hyped. Oh, oops. I didn't mean to hit enter. Oh, I get you, Dan. Yeah, Dan, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Look forward to seeing what you have to say. I get it. I hit enter sometimes when I'm typing stuff, so believe me, you're good. I look forward to seeing the rest of your comment though when it pops up here. And yeah, and then we had the Reflection of the Soul. It's 7th anniversary today. That's great. And then let's see how we're doing with the grades since I decided to start doing this whole grading all the films, and right now I just put down all the Bond fan films. So let's look at Price of Loyalty. Price of Loyalty right now with 15 votes, 13% give it an A, 20% give it a B, 53% give it a C, and 13% give it a D, and then 0% give it an F. Honestly, I'm leaning more towards the D grade myself. You guys are being nice and generous. I appreciate it. I'm very hard on that film. C, I could maybe see giving it a C, but honestly, I'm more of a D. But it's nice seeing. I'll be curious when I put it all together and figure out the score, and then seeing how it stacks up against other films and other projects we've done. Shadow Revenge also has 15 votes. 40% give it an A, 40% give it a B, and 20% give it a C, and 0 for D and F. Shadow Revenge might beat Reflection of the Soul at this rate, because it got 23 votes for Reflection of the Soul. 35% give it an A, 61% give it a B, and 4% give it a C, and then no votes for D or F. So it really is going to be interesting seeing what comes out on top on those. And then after I post up a video talking about those results and ranking those, so they'll be ranked first, second, and third at that point. Then I'll post up a poll that will be the lost scene movies. And then once I've done all those ranks, then they'll be mixed in. And then I'll do The Survivor, Season 1, 2, and Seasons 1 and 2, and War's End. And they'll get mixed in. Then I'll probably do Martial Law. And I'll be very curious to see how they rank compared to the ranking I've done for the 33 projects. 29, I think it's a C. Yeah, I can see why people would say the Price of Loyalty is a C. It's average. It's an average Bond fan film. I'm just harsh on it. That one band that does those really dramatic songs at the tip of my tongue, I swear they sound like, I swear like 3 fan films use their one song in their titles. Shadow Revenge was just fantastic. Probably nostalgia, but I just really enjoyed it. Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Like, I liked it. Rewatching it again, I realized just how fun it was to rewatch Shadow Revenge. When I watched it back in June, it was really fun. It is a fun time. I think Reflection of the Soul is really fun. And then I think that's all the stuff with the polls. So now we can just kind of just talk a little bit. Yeah. If you guys have any questions think we're just gonna, all right, sit back and relax and talk here. I'll probably stay on for maybe another half hour or so, unless no one really wants to talk. And we can just, sorry, just trying to make it bad nerves. We can just talk about the the films that have already been made. And if you guys have any questions for me about Death is Forever, I'm here to answer questions you guys might have. Like I was showing, because I showed this one earlier, the Price of Loyalty one. There's also a Shadow Revenge one. I've had this one for a while. I just gave it a new case. I actually lost the format on this. Actually, this one has something interesting. I'm going to bring this closer. This picture, I don't even have the original file for this picture. It was inspired by the Die Another Day poster. We filmed that on the last day of filming the battle scene after Miller gets killed and we're outside their little hideout there. We had to film that. It's up against the those garage doors. So we filmed that picture right there of the two of us. The rest are all the stills from the film. Actually, this one, I think, yeah, this one was not actually during the filming. It's when Sean was just getting ready for a shot, but it looked really cool. Yeah, this one was a unique picture, but unfortunately, I don't have it anymore. I wish I did. Yeah, so there's that, and then of course there's Reflection of the Soul. Also have the CD case for the soundtrack for Reflection of the Soul, since it has a soundtrack. But yeah, okay. Let's see. If this isn't giving away too much, is Death is Forever taking inspiration from the You Only Live Twice novel? A little bit. There are a few elements from the You Only Live Twice novel that are going to be in it. That's all I can say. There is a little bit of inspiration. Not too much, though, to be honest. There's a little bit. It is in there. I will say that. Dan Rollins. Supremacy. Oh, yes. Everyone used Supremacy by Muse. That was a common one. There was George Ambrose's fan film, Dead on Arrival, used a different song by Muse, which I appreciated. Butterflies, Roses, or something like that. I don't remember the title now. But he had to use a different song from Muse. I was glad they didn't use Supremacy, because everyone's used Supremacy. Yeah, everyone talks about Muse doing a Bond song. But yes, like I said, though, I kind of regret using Forever I Am All Yours. I remember putting it for a vote. I think it got voted to be used, because I actually had several song ideas. And it ended up getting voted to be the song, because I couldn't choose. I just was struggling to decide, and I actually put it up to a vote. And Switcher 1993, awesome. That has me even more excited. You Only Live Twice is one of my favorite novels. Yeah, it was actually the first James Bond novel I ever read. Was You Only Live Twice. Good book. Good book. Yeah. No, it's been interesting doing these polls, because it's been interesting to see what you guys think. I've been very much wanting just more feedback. You know, it gives us a good idea of what to do and what people like. I like listening to the fans. I like, if I decide, oh, this is what I like, I want to do, I'm going to do what I really want to do. But I also like knowing what fans like, what's being appreciated and what's not. Way You Die, that was made for the short film Shin in Rio. It's a wonderful James Bond-esque song. Have you heard it? I think I have. But I'm not sure. I'd have to check it out. I'll take a look after this live stream for that. I feel like I have heard it, and it's good. If it's the one I'm thinking of, yes, it's really good. Uh, I had a number of songs I was considering for Reflection of the Soul. I do remember that. I think it was like 5 different songs. Just happened to be the one that got voted. But at least Death is Forever is gonna have its own song. I think that's really cool. Find out. I don't think God, a filmmaker that wants to do what he wants to do, but also listens to the fan nowadays. Filmmakers are all about subverting expectations and reinvent the wheel. Subverting your expectations. Yeah, because, I personally think that a film, it really should make half the audience really happy and the other half should hate it and tell you made the worst film ever. I think that's what really excites me. So, yeah, I think that's the mark of a best film. Shut up, Ryan. Sorry, my little Ryan Johnson rant. Um, no, I do like putting out surprises and doing things that are surprising, but I also don't feel like I want people to enjoy these movies. I want to know what you want to enjoy. If it is come down to I want to do this, I mean I will do it because it is in the end my story, my film. I can't do that. However, I also want to listen. Like I said before, I really think that's important. I think you have to know your audience. You have to be able to read the room, know what they want. Sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes it can be tricky. That I think that's one of the reasons why Death is Forever is kind of taking a little bit of time. I've been wanting to get it right. I want Death is Forever to be done well. I don't know how long it will be. It could be as short as 40 minutes. Could be as long as 2 hours. It's gonna be somewhere in between. It's gonna be somewhere between 45 minutes to 2 hours. Do not know where it's gonna fall in that range. It might end up being my shortest one, but quality always beats quantity. I think a lot of times. Honestly, Shadow Revenge, I think I could have trimmed off 20 minutes of that movie. Price of Loyalty, same. I think I could have trimmed off maybe 20 minutes. Fragile Soul flows pretty well. I really like that film. Yeah, every scene moved along, moved along. I don't think there was anything unnecessary. There were a few changes made, like there was originally the card game scene, which got turned into the chess game and stuff like that. That was just necessary. Obviously there have been little changes. There are changes, obviously. When I look back at the scripts, I can really say like, "Oh, we didn't end up doing that," or "This was changed," or "That was changed." But I really do just want to give you guys something to enjoy. What was it? You forgot the first rule of mass media, Carver. Give the people what they want. No, no, no. Sorry, that's just the first thing that pops up. Give the people what they want. I yeah. So still gotta be writing the script. That's a little bit pushed back right now because now I'm working on. Hopefully this coming weekend, I hope to start filming Lost Scene 5. And I'm working on the script for Indiana Jones. That's good. Were there any ideas from your previous films that you brought back for your latest film? Not really. I pretty much all the ideas I had for the first two films, I pretty much brought into Reflection of the Soul, and Reflection of the Soul pretty much played out the way all the ideas I had for it. So really, I haven't. Um, I don't really have anything that was like, "Ooh, I really wish I could have done that." Going into this film. So actually, the answer is no on that one, just because I just have blank slate to work with this film. Reflection of the Soul really did come about from just this like, ooh, I really wish I could have done this or done that or done this, and I got the chance to do it all, and that's why for a long time I was perfectly fine with that being the last film because I had done everything. But then there was this kind of issue of well, I've got these new cameras, I got all this new equipment, I got all this new experience and knowledge. What could I make a fan film look like now? So that's why I kind of wanted to jump on back and do a fourth film. Dan Roland asks, random banter, have you seen Tenet? No, I have not. No, I have gone back to movies, to the cinemas, recently, finally. But it's been to watch old movies, not newer stuff. Last movie I went and saw in the theater that was new. Back in February, I did the flashback cinema, went and saw Blade Runner, which was great seeing on the big screen. Then went and saw Sonic the Hedgehog. That was the last new film I've gone to see in the theater. And then recently went to the drive-in and saw The Goonies. First time ever going to a drive-in theater. You know, I'd seen The Goonies many times, but something fun to do. And then finally got to see Empire Strikes Back on the big screen. Oh, that was incredible. That was incredible. But no, I haven't seen any new movies. I did not see Tenet. I haven't seen a lot of Nolan films. I know. I haven't seen a lot of Nolan stuff. In fact, I think I've only seen one Nolan film in the theater, and that was Dunkirk. Yeah. Empire on the big screen was legit. Yes, it really was. It really was. And it's like, I've seen this movie countless times, but seeing it on the big screen, there's just something about it, which is why I defend theaters need to still be a thing, because there's something special about that. You just can't replicate that. Like I said, I've seen Empire Strikes Back probably 100 times. Never seen it, experienced it like that before. There's just something different. Nolan's best films are his Batman Begins and Inception. Yeah, I'd say Batman Begins is really, really high up there. I have not seen Inception. Once again, don't shoot me. I have not seen Inception. It's on my list. Interstellar was. Oh, wait a minute! I did see Interstellar in the theater. I did. I almost forgot about that one. Yeah, I did see Interstellar in the theater. So Interstellar and Dunkirk. Those are my two Nolan films I've seen in the theater. I saw Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Goldeneye, and Dark Knight in cinemas recently. Dang, dude! What's going on down in Australia? You're getting to see all these movies in the cinema. I want to see Goldeneye in the cinema. I want to see Return of the Jedi in the cinema. What the heck? Dude, I'm jealous. Bro. I agree with the cinema arguments. Been missing it a lot. Yeah, right? Hype for the Scott Pilgrim theatrical release, if that's still happening. There's so much up in the air right now. It's crazy. There are a lot of films I want to see in the theater. I have one more Indiana Jones film I still need to see in the theater, and that's Temple of Doom. I still need to see that one in the theater. And I still have A New Hope and Return of Jedi of Star Wars, and then I would have seen every Star Wars film in the theater. I would like to see a classic Bond movie. Yeah, Goldeneye is definitely number one, I think, of all the ones I want to see in the theater. Goldeneye would be incredible to see in the theater. Living Daylights would be fun, too. But yeah, I've only seen Quantum of Solace was my first Bond experience in the theater. What a way to start. Going to the theaters is a fun way to give yourself a couple hours of levity among all the craziness. Yeah, exactly. It's great. It's great escapism. Fingers crossed, No Time to Die actually premieres. We had a good time. No Time to Release. More like. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Fingers crossed on No Time to Die. I want it to be good. I want it to be good. I want it to be good. I really want it to be good. I want it to be good. Tenet is interesting, more of a cerebral spy story. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard reviews. No spoilers reviews, but I've heard some general thoughts. Yeah, just I thought I've always wondered what my movies would look like on a big screen. Just to sit back and be like, whoa, this don't look good on this big screen. It's not good enough quality. Actually, I have a couple of films that would actually look decently well. What You Leave Behind would look great on a big screen. I mean, it's in 4K. It would look fantastic on a big screen. Same with Drive You and Monopoly the movie. Those three films will look great on a big screen. They're the highest quality films because they were all made with like really high end cameras. I guess those are the only three I've done with really high end cameras. Goldfinger, Our Majesty's Secret Service, The Spy Who Loved Me were great in the theater. Man, you've gotten some good stuff in the theater, man. Really jealous. I look forward to any time they do. I love doing like flashback cinema and all kinds of different. I love going to see old movies in theaters. There's just a different experience seeing something in the night in the cinema. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys all rank the movies. I'm very curious to see how my films rank out because it'll probably be very different from my ranking. I thought this is the best way to do it. I'm basing off of there's a YouTuber, really great. It's called Thor Skywalker. He's been doing a Star Wars character ranking thing, and he's doing the same thing. Grades A, B, C, D, and F, and then he tallies it all up and averages it all out. And I was like, that's a great system. I want to try that with my films just to see where the rank. I also plan on discussing what the IMDb ranking. In fact, why don't we do that right here? Oh, and top flashback cinema is awesome. I still remember seeing Die Hard that way. I didn't get to go see Die Hard when they were showing. I did see Top Gun. Yes, I did see Top Gun. Top Gun was great. Actually, I want to discuss IMDb and my films is really interesting because some of them have gotten enough votes to have an IMDb ranking. Not everything. I think only 17 of them out of all my projects. And it's really interesting. Yeah, okay. Let's go by user rating. By user rating, I'm going to go through. Let's see. What's the lowest one? Okay, number 17. With 22 votes, has a 6.0 ranking. It is The Price of Loyalty. I tune into Thor Skywalker very often. I'm glad to see you also follow him. Yeah, I follow a lot of different YouTubers like that. I really like those kinds of guys. They're really fun to watch. Okay, Price of Loyalty is number 17. It's the lowest one that actually has a rank. Oh, wow. Well Scene 5's got the new poster image for it. Sweet. Well Scene 5. I'm glad to see people still like to do stuff for my things. Number 16. 7 votes. 6.6. Voyage of the Undead. Also with 6.6, but it has 16 votes. Number 15, The Lost Scene 2. Yeah, I'd rank those down there. Share Revenge has 26 votes. It has it has a rating of 6.8. With number 13 with 7 votes and a rating of 7.3. What You Leave Behind. The Survivor series has 8 votes and stands with 7.5. Reflection of the Soul is only 11th with 30 votes and stands at 7.5 as well. So it has just more votes than Survivor, so it's ranked. Actually, it'd be ranked. Reflection of the Soul would actually be ranked 10th because The Lost Scene is ranked 7.5 as well, and it only has 17 votes. So actually, Lost Scene would be 11th. Reflection of the Soul would be 10th. The Survivor War's End is in 9th. 6 votes, rating of 7.7. With the Computer Network just above it, 7.8, and it has 12 votes. It's in 8th place. In 7th, Martial Law Insurrection, 7.8 as well. It has 12 votes. So really, it and the Computer Network are tied. Insurrection. The Lost Scene 4 Choices is at 8.1 with 18 votes. That's not too bad. We're in the 8s now. Number 5, The Lost Scene 3, Covert Operations. 8.4 with 17 votes. Martial Law also has an 8.4 rating with 11 votes. Martial Law Reconciliation also is 8.4 with 13 votes. Wow, they're all 8.4. Nice. Number 2 is Chess, 13 votes, 8.6. And at number 1 with 9 votes and a rating of 8.7, according to IMDb, my number 1 film is The Real Business. The Real Business. That was a surprise. Was not expecting that. I was like, wait, Real Business is top? I was like, wow, surprise. Nice to see all the stuff's got the updated posters and stuff. A lot of people have helped me out getting my films stuff updated. Most of my stuff is up on IMDb. There's actually quite a bit. Something I'm wanting to do as well, another thing I'm wanting to eventually post up, I'm wanting to look and see who's appeared in my films the most. I'm very curious about that because I know I know I've appeared the most films. I know that, but I think I want to know like where Sean, and then you got Chris Mooney, James Oxford, my brother Richard, Adam Deerking, Tyler Malloy. Patrick Stark. I want to see who's appeared in the most films on our stuff. Who's been there the most. I want to do that at some point. When I think of the title Insurrection, I just think of Star Trek Insurrection. Martial law insurrection, I think, does a better job of what it's trying to do than Star Trek Insurrection. Believe me, I thought the same thing when Patrick Stark told me the title of the second one. I was like, "Oh, you mean like Star Trek?" That is my least favorite Star Trek film. I think it's either that or In the Darkness. Those are at the bottom. Yeah, I think Insurrection's at the very bottom, and then In the Darkness is right above that. Yeah. Speaking of Star Trek films. But yeah, it was interesting just looking at IMDb and seeing the way they got it ranked. Stuff like that. Yeah. Trying to think if there's really anything else really to, you guys have any other questions? Anything else? Well, I've still got the stream going. We got 9 people now. 8. Just dropped down. Because I've really enjoyed talking about the Bond films and their history and stuff. I think it's interesting looking back and seeing what we've done. And then here we are finally moving forward. But yeah, you guys have anything else? Once again, thanks guys for voting all your stuff. Hey man, I miss it. Yeah. Hey Tyler, how you doing? Yeah, I've missed having a lot of films out. I mean, literally the last film we made was Lost Scene 4, and that was 2 years ago now. It's been way too long. Things have really been rough trying to get things started because it'll also be interesting to show you guys a list of the filming order of Blue Diamond stuff and then the release order, because there actually is a few differences, mainly because the martial law films were filmed a lot longer before they were released. I mean, Martial Law 1 was filmed in 2012, and then the very beginning of 2013 didn't come out until 2015. Martial Law 2 was filmed during the summer of 2013, didn't come out until 2018. And Martial Law 3 didn't come out until um, it was filmed during the fall of 2014, didn't come out until the fall of 2018. Dan Ron, gotta run, but nice hanging out. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. It's appreciated. So there's a lot of different like filming orders. So really, Phase 3 is not. We haven't actually done, to be honest, Phase 3. I really haven't done a proper film with Phase 3 yet, because the first film to come out, Insurrection, was already been filmed. We just edited it. Same with Martial Law Reconciliation. Fan Films Are Forever was a documentary, so very different. Wow, long post production, the Martial Law trilogy. Yeah, I want to do a documentary at some point talking about that. Commentary on the martial law films. No, but I'd love to at some point. Whenever Patrick Stark comes and visits, I want to sit down and do a commentary version with him on all three films. I would love. I think I'd love to do it with him and Louisa, and try to grab whoever else we can that was involved in the film and really do a big commentary. Yeah, what happened? So I can tell briefly. I think I explained some of this in my documentary, my retrospective series. I think I explained a little bit of this, but with the first one, I wasn't really involved. I did a couple of shots. I did my Comanche Joe bit and Maynard Johnson, and that was it. And Patrick was editing it, but he put all the footage in one project file. It got corrupted. He didn't really have time. I had just gotten used to using Premiere Pro. I said, hey, I can edit this. I can do it. I'll take over. I took over. I really had it done. And this was at the beginning of 2014. So it had already taken him a long time before he was able to get that far into it. He'd actually already filmed the second movie, and he was still working on post production of the first movie. Third movie had not started. So basically, he was working on post production of Martial Law 1, had Martial Law 2 filmed, and was working on pre production of Martial Law 3. Definitely would love that too. Yes, I'd love to do a commentary. I helped take over post production while he's working, and just let him work on pre production of Martial Law 3. I get it done. I think I had it done by the end of the year. Problem was, then we were holding out on the music. He had a different guy doing the music. If I'm not mistaken, it was the guy who played Parker, Jim Parker, the traitorous government agent. I'm pretty certain he was doing the music. Finally, he wasn't able to do it, and I just said, "Hey, I can get Otto will do it. Otto Nelson will do it," and Otto did it. But it took him some time to get there. I mean, it's a long film to do that, so that I knew that pushed it back into 2015, and then it came out. And then I was working on Insurrection, getting it ready. But the biggest problem was we had some shots. We wanted to do some airship shots. In fact, I had gotten a couple of test shots from a guy. It was going to be all CGI, these shots of these airships flying. But then the guy who I had working with us decided not to do it. And then it was like there was no one who really wanted to do that complicated CGI. Then it became just a really, really long process of just trying to find people to do the visual effects. So 2 sat on the bench for a long time. So finally, I was like, the beginning of 2018, I was like, okay, I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to edit this. We're going to cut the airship shots. I'm going to add in a couple extra shots. So I filmed some stuff with myself. We cut out the airship shots. Sean worked a little bit on it. And you bailed us out at the very last second to get that finished. And then you helped us out with the third one because it really didn't take long. Oh, man, I had no idea. Yeah, it was really bad. And so once the second one was done, a third one just rolled. Like I hadn't worked on any post production. I'd worked on one scene, 2 scenes, 2 test scenes. I did one. It was the first scene with Lee Connors. I did that. I edited to see how it would look, see how it would sound, just to show Patrick that this is what Martial Law 3 is going to look like. I remember because I used the test track just so it would have some music. I used the Schindler's List theme during that scene. I also did the three-way gun duel, and I used the good, the bad, and the ugly music with it and everything. I did those 2 tests. In fact, I could even share those tests. I think at least one of them. I know the preview one is on my Vimeo account, the three-way gun battle, the original test footage for that. But for the most part, left 3 alone. So when 2 got finished, I just rolled into 3, and it literally came out 6 months after I started really editing it. So that post production was probably the shortest. It just was in the queue until the other 2 were until Martial Law 2 was done. I'm on. Do you have any concept art of the airships? No, unfortunately, we don't really have anything of the airship stuff. That's why it came down to just sounds. We wanted. I mean, Patrick was really ambitious with 2. And that's really why it just got delayed as long as it did. Because originally it was supposed to come out in December of 15. Because I had finished 4. I was already editing. In fact, by time Martial Law aired, I pretty much had edited, almost finished editing 2 completely. It was ready to go. We just wanted to get those airship shots and then the other visual effects. But yeah, finally we just had to give up on it. It was like the music. It was like the music thing on the last one. So the first one had the music issue, it had the editing and then the music issue. Then the second one had the airships and then just the visual effects in general issue. Third one didn't have any issues. That's why it just flowed, and I was able to get it out in September after getting the second one out in March. So I was like, okay, I guess we're matrixing this. First movie comes out, and then a few years later, the other 2 come out the same year. That's in the end what happened with Martial Law. And that's why it took so much longer after they were filmed to when they came out. Because yeah, my original plan when I worked on the first one was to have the first one, because you see the post-credit trailer says, yeah, my plan was December of 2015 was to get the second one out, and then in July of 2016 to get the third one out. And it would have worked that way if we hadn't had the delays. Matrixing it, funny phrase. Yeah, I know, it sounded funny when I just said it. I was like, oh, that was an interesting line. But that was the thing. Yeah. Get some light on the subject. Oops. That was the reason why that films took so long. Also, they're just long films. Believe me, I spent many late nights in the computer lab on campus editing the third one. The third one's such a long film. Oh my god. But it was also the easiest one for me to edit because I had actually been there for most of the filming. For like 90% of the filming. The main bit I was not there for was the opening bit with Chris Mooney. That whole location that day, I was at work, so I couldn't be there. So I trusted them. I gave Patrick my camera. Lisa did most of the filming for that one. That whole sequence at that place, the jail place, I wasn't there for, unfortunately. I had to miss out on that. But that was really the only bit I missed. So for the most part, I knew exactly. It's also very interesting how much longer the runtime's got. Parallel in Dollar's trilogy in a curious way. Kinda. Well, I mean, the first 2 movies are the same length. And then the third one's longer. Didn't feel that much longer. It was actually the shortest filming. In terms of how long a span, I mean, yeah, we had a couple of shots that were waitlist. Most of it took place in 1 month. September of 2014. We had like the last weekend of August, the whole month of September. We did a half day of shooting in November, 1 day in November, and then we did one long day where we did all the ballroom scene stuff at the very beginning of January in 1 day. But for the most part, it was all done in 1 month, which is incredible considering it's a 3-hour movie. It was a lot of long days. But editing, it took a long time, a lot of hours. But I knew what I was doing. The first one I struggled the most with because I only was there for 2 scenes, for 2 different days of shooting, and that's all I ever saw. I just had to figure out the other day of filming. I mean, I had the script, and I had everything, but figuring that out and editing something I had not been there for most of filming was interesting. I was there for more of the second one. The first two are the same length. Yeah, it really did end up. The only reason it ended up being the same length, though, was I did film that post-credit scene for 2, uh, with the Lee Connors cameo. I did film that. If it hadn't been for that, the second one actually would have been shorter. And I had an idea for. I kind of wish we had done an idea. I had an idea. It was going to show Comanche Joe escaping. It was going to be a post-credit scene for the first movie, which I think would have worked great because then in the second movie we see him get captured and get killed, and then it would have been kind of the post-credit scenes would have been kind of following a theme, but we'd end up Patrick said no on the post-credit scene for the first movie, but then I added in the one for the second one. And, I actually filmed that at the same time when I filmed the flashback scene for the third one where Connors remembers throwing down his badge and stuff. We actually filmed that on the same day, same time. We filmed both those shots. And we had to film it where you couldn't see my face because I had no mustache, it being Connors. Maybe Comanche Joe can have appearance in Rough Justice. He's dead. He's dead. I mean, Rough Justice is set after the martial law trilogy, and at the end of martial law 2, during that post-credit scene, Comanche Joe is killed. It's one of the only times, not counting the MI6 regulars, where we actually recast someone in a role. Because I played him in the first movie, and then in that cameo bit, David Piana played him. It's one of the only times we've ever recast that we had someone else playing the role of a character, not counting M and Q and Moneypenny and stuff like that. But for the most part, this is that one time we did that. But yeah, Comanche Joe's dead, so he's not coming back. He dead. He kind of shot him. So that was interesting because I didn't want to film it. I thought it would have been too distracting if it was me playing both roles. I mean, we could have technically. The way we filmed it, I could have totally played both roles, but I thought it was too confusing. So I decided to just let Dave Piana do it. I need to rewatch those. I enjoyed those a few years back. Yeah, I mean, the third one just turned 2 a month ago, less than a month ago. September 28th, I think, was when it came out. Yeah, so it's just turned 2. I can't believe that. It's been that long. Patrick Stark's writing books of them. He just finished his first draft of the first book based on the first movie not too long ago. It's like 700 pages. He added a lot, he said, because now he had free reign. Being a book, he could do whatever he wanted. So it's the core is there, but he expanded it big time. I look forward to when he gets a final draft made. I'll look forward to reading that. I see, that does make sense. I didn't realize it was the same character you played. Imagine if you still had you in a double role, you killing your other character. It kind of was. I was kind of my way of getting rid of that character, Comanche Joe. Yeah, it was the same guy. Yeah, David Piana, the one I shoot at the end at the post-credit scene. That is my character from the first martial law. That's why he's wearing the jacket, same jacket. He's not wearing the same hat because I didn't have access to the old hat, but and he has the case. I even gave him the old case that he was trying to get. But I thought it was a good way just to introduce the character of Connors, just give people a tease. I think it would be a good RPG. Yeah, it would be fun. It'd be like Red Dead Redemption. That'd be pretty fun. Yeah, martial law was fun. I want to do Rough Justice, but with everything going on, I don't know. Mainly, just my main goal: Lost Scene 5. That is it. That is the goal. Lost Scene 5 must happen. I will not work on another single project outside of script work. I will not work on anything else outside of writing until I get Lost Scene 5 done. It has to be done. People have waited 8 years for this movie. I'm going to get it out. I'm going to deliver. People waited too long for this film. It's just got to get done. I mean, if for some reason I wasn't able to make the Lost Scene 6, that wouldn't be as bad. Because Lost Scene 6 is more like an epilogue. So excited, man. Lost Scene 5 is soon here. Yes. I'm hoping to start filming next weekend. This coming Saturday. And Sunday. I hope so. Yeah, my hype for Lost Scene 5 is real. Yes. Script's great. I mean, script's been ready. It's been ready since like 2018. It's just getting it filmed. It took long enough just to get a script finally down. But after I got the script, after I made choices, I was able to finally nail down the script. Script is good. It's just getting the filming and getting the cast, and then COVID happened and all that crazy stuff. But it's ready. We're here. Oh wow, this live stream is now gone as long as Reflection of the Soul has. Hey, how that's fitting. Someone could have put on the Reflection of the Soul and it'd be ending now. And this whole live stream's been going on. 94 minutes. I think we're gonna wrap it up here pretty soon. Just mere fun finding out who the mastermind is. That's super hype. Oh yeah, the mastermind. It'd be interesting to see that. Plus, all the different LCU references that are sprinkled in the film. You get a lot of name drops. A lot of stuff. Also, the title sequence. Let me just tell you, the title sequence connects a lot of dots. A lot of dots. Lurking in the shadows for so many years. Oh yeah. He's had his hands in a lot of things. A lot of organizations, but I will leave that. Hopefully, I can't wait to be able to show you guys photos of us on set filming. Cannot wait. So excited. This Saturday, if I'm lucky. If something goes wrong, unfortunately, then I gotta plan for something. But this Saturday, finally, it's gonna start. I think it'll take us only 4 days of shooting if we get it right. We can knock it out. I can edit it pretty fast and get it done. Get the visual effects put in there, get all the stuff, and boom, done. That's what I'm saying. December release is what I'm hoping for. If we got really lucky, maybe in November. I doubt it, though. I think I'd rather do December just to make sure it's good, not rush it. But yeah, December release is really gonna happen, and this will be the first film we filmed that's 100% been filmed and stuff in Phase 3 because, like I said, the martial law movies had already been filmed. Deaths Forever was, I mean, not Deaths Forever. Fan Films Are Forever was a documentary, so it was very different. And Lost Scene Forward was using a lot of footage from other films, so it was already kind of half filmed back in 2016. So, all right, I'll get you the VFX the same day you send me the footage. Even, nah, I mean, take your time. Take your time. We'll get it done. Unfortunately, I think, yeah, some of the visual effects will give away plot points. Unfortunately. But that's just the nature of the beast. All right. You'll be like, what is happening in this shot? You'll see it. I'll send you a clip and you'll be like, what? What is happening? It'll be fun. It'll be fun, Paulie. Okay, if you guys have any last questions, comments, or thoughts, I'll try to wrap up here. Really good. Oh my god. You're good. I've enjoyed doing this. Getting a chance to talk with you guys. It's been fun. Yeah, like I said, any last comments or anything? It's been great just going through all these polls. Yes, please keep an eye on the channel because I'm going to keep doing stuff in the community tab, just trying to get some thoughts out and just seeing how people are viewing all the different films. It's been great. It's great that Reflection of the Soul has now reached 7 years. Oh, that's another thing. Phase 1. Phase 1. Talking about filming movies being filmed in different orders. Reflection of the Soul is the last film in Phase 1 to be released, but actually the last film to be filmed during Phase 1 was Voyage of the Undead. Because Voyage of the Undead was filmed in September of 2013 and released, but Reflection of the Soul came out after, but it was filmed early in 2013. So actually, that's why the mustache. That's why I have it in that film, but then I don't have it in Reflection of the Soul, but then I have it again in The Real Business. Films I have the mustache in. Voyage of the Undead, Real Business, Survivor, War's End, and Martial Law. I think those are the only films. I think after that, by the time I get to What You Leave Behind, Striking, yeah, I'd already shaved it by then. Yeah, I shaved it by the time we were making like The Good, the Bad, and the Pizza. And I didn't appear in those films, but I had already shaved it off by then. So yeah, Yeah, Marshall was the last thing I filmed with it. I shaved it. So I was only in like four or five films. But yeah. So actually technically the end of phase one was Voyage of the Undead, but Festival came out after. So it's been 7 years since phase one. Wow, it's a lot of time. Well, thank you guys for joining me for this live stream. Thanks you for the great discussions, great talk. We definitely leaned away from the Bond films, but honestly, I don't mind just having some chats. This has been the easiest way for me to make videos right now, so I've been not minding doing the whole live streams. I will keep you guys posted on what's going on. Let you guys know what's happening with the Lost Scene 5, and then what's happening with Indiana Jones, and then we'll just roll from there, and the Legends, of course. So I'll let you just keep you posted, keep you updated, keep an eye on things. I'm going to try to do more with the website. I know I haven't done as much with the website, but I'm going to try to get caught up with that. And yeah, we'll just keep trucking on through. So thank you all for watching this live stream. It will, of course, eventually pop up on my video feed. And so if you missed any bits, you can go back and rewatch it. And I will say, all of you, take care. Have a good night. Thanks for voting. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for talking. Thanks for all the laughs. And bid you all a good night or a good morning, depending on where you're living. Take care.